Good morning. Time to make the coffee. Today's flavor is S'mores by Dunkin'. It's a flavor that they had out in the fall. I don't know if they even have it out anymore, but it's good. I've noticed Dunkin' Donuts coffee is pretty strong. It's stronger than some of the other coffees that I buy. So what I do is I just add a little bit more water when I'm brewing my coffee, and that seems to tone it down a little bit. But it's very good. So it is so gloomy out there today. It's raining, and it almost looks like it's nighttime. It's just starting to lighten up a little bit, and it's just a little before 8 a.m. in the morning. So not a very pleasant day out there. The high temperature, though, is going to be 43. So at least it's not snowing, which is good. But there's still snow on the ground. The rain will finish melting it. So I'm not sure what I'm doing today. You guys know I kind of plan my days in the morning when I get up. Depends on what I feel like doing. I have lots of projects to choose from, so I don't tie myself down to any one project. It's just whatever project I feel like picking for the day. So I have to do a little bit of cleanup, not too much. Dishes are done, and the table's relatively cleaned up. So that's good. I've been trying to keep up with all the things that I cleaned up all last month. I've been trying to keep everything neat and tidy so that I don't have a bunch of cleaning to do right before Christmas Eve. I'll just do a light vacuum and dusting and call that good. Oh, and of course clean the bathroom. So I need to return something to Mark's, but I'm kind of dragging my feet on that one too, because I don't want to spend any more money. I have all the food that I want, and I really don't need any more. So staying out of the stores will be my strategy coming up in January. And I've done that before. I have a whole series of not spending money here on the channel somewhere. One of these days I really should organize it all into a playlist. I have my freezer countdown that I did for a year, and also I can't remember how many days I went no spend, but it was quite a few. So I have videos on that. And if you just, if you have an interest to see those, you can do a search on my channel and they should pop up. So these mugs are so big. I put a lot of water in here, but it's still only like 3/4 of a cup of coffee. But that's okay. By the time I add some cream, it'll fill right up. So, yeah, it's not very pleasant out there today at all. It's a good day to stay in and light a few candles and stay cozy warm. So cheers. Yep, that's just right. So I have like 2 gifts that I need to wrap yet. One isn't coming till the 20th, and the other one I just bought at Costco the other day when I went with my daughter. So, but I've been using gift bags, tissue paper and gift bags, and it looks nice and it's easy, and it's not expensive either. So I've been doing that for about 3 years now, putting everything in gift bags instead of wrapping the presents. And I don't know, it might not be as much fun as ripping paper, but there's always the tissue paper you can rip off. So, all right, well, I'm going to enjoy my coffee on this gloomy day, and I will meet you over there at the budget book very shortly. Okay, well, back at the budget book with all those red X's. All right, so yesterday I didn't spend any money. I didn't go to the store, and I didn't order anything online, so it's all good. Hopefully things will be winding down now, but we'll see. So a couple of days ago, I was looking for a small upright freezer instead of the chest freezer that I have. And I bought the chest freezer, about a year and a half ago, because the freezer that I have a side-by-side refrigerator freezer, and it's very deep, but it's not very wide. So it's extremely difficult to keep the food organized in there. And what happens is a lot of times everything gets shoved to the back, and then I can't get to it because I have layers of food in front of it. Because the space in the front part, there's no sense to leaving that empty, because the more full your freezer is, the less it runs. So I haven't been real happy with the chest freezer because, the food at the bottom of the freezer is just too hard to get to. So I had a conversation with my daughter, and she said, well, what are you going to do with the chest freezer? And I said, well, once I use some of the food, I'm going to empty it into the upright freezer. It's only 6.5 cubic foot upright, which isn't very big, but I'm trying to get away from having too much freezer food available. So I told her, she could have the chest freezer, and she said, yeah, that would be a good thing for me just to put meat in, because they're all meat eaters. My son-in-law loves to cook brisket and these big, huge roasts, and they love to host people. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But this little freezer, it was a really good deal. I got it on at Walmart. I had looked at Amazon and different places, and I didn't want to spend a lot. So I found this one on Amazon. I think it's a Frigidaire, and it was only $197. So it's a little bit bigger in capacity than my 5 cubic foot chest freezer. So not that much bigger, but I think it'll be a whole lot easier for me to find my freezer food in that freezer. And it said it was garage ready, so it's a freezer that is okay to keep in the garage. If it gets hot out there or freezes out there, it'll be fine for that. So anyway, I bought that the other day, and it's supposed to arrive today. So hopefully it's big enough, and if not, I'll have to return it and maybe get one that's a little bigger. It's hard to visualize things when you buy them online. So anyway, but yesterday I didn't spend any money. And it's my plan in January to really double down on using up my food and seeing how long I can go without actually buying more food other than maybe some fresh produce. So that is my plan, and I've been looking for a little upright freezer for a long time. I had a 13 cubic foot freezer for 40 plus years, but it finally gave up the ghost, about 3 years ago. So, and I find that just having the freezer in my kitchen, like I said, it's very deep, and it's kind of hard to find the food in there. Even though I do have it sort of organized, it gets very disorganized after a while, and I have to pull everything out and reorganize it. So, but just having that freezer, I find, isn't quite enough. So we'll see. You know, I mean, I'm trying to adjust my lifestyle to what I have and the abilities that I'm able to maintain now. And just trying to, it's a very big transitional period for me. These last, I would say, 4 or 5 years have been really a lot of transition. So, but it's okay, you know, I'm okay with it, but it just is something that needs to happen rather than just continuing what doesn't work for me anymore. So like I said, I'm hoping with the budget book that being the food being easier to find and using that up, then I won't have to spend so much money. So, I mean, I don't spend that much on food. Well, I have for the holiday, but normally I don't spend that much on food. But what I do have, I need to use up before it goes bad. So, all right, well, that's part of my budget plan. And we'll see, you know, I have to organize. When the organizer comes, I'm going to reorganize some of my food in the basement. I've managed to put it all in bins and buckets to keep the mice out. So, but now I have to rearrange it on the metal shelving that I bought. And I might actually buy a couple more of the shelving units. And the ones that I've been buying are on wheels. I think I got them, it was either at Walmart or Home Depot. And they're not super huge units, but with them being on wheels, I can move them if I have to. And I think I might get a couple more of those. So we'll see, because I also want to make the one room that I have down there that's been a bedroom, it's been an exercise room, it's been all kinds of things, but it kind of has turned into a storage room now, which is fine, but it's a mess in there because it's part of the basement. So if I'm going to turn it into a storage room, I want enough shelving in there that I can put things in bins and label them and, you know, not have it look like it's a mess. And also, I have big plans to purge a lot of the stuff because a lot of those things I just don't use anymore. But I haven't had the time to go through them because I've been concentrating more on my first floor here in the house and decluttering that. So, okay, well, that's my little chat on the budget book for today. I'm going to create an all-seasons wreath on my front door so that all I have to do every season is change out the picks. And I found these in my stash, so I want to use those. They're Christmassy looking. So I'm going to utilize what I have and see if I need to buy anything else. But I have plenty, I think I have plenty of silk flowers and things that I should be able to change out the wreath. So here's the wreath that I plan to repurpose. I already started putting seasonal Christmas things in there. I had all these blue ones all the way around. I've taken most of those out. This is from Dollar Tree. This I had from last year, also from Dollar Tree. So I put the ribbon and the bows, or the bow and the jingle bells on with it. So I'm going to go ahead and make this into a winter Christmas wreath. So this is what I took out of the wreath. And let's see what I can come up with. Well, I had just enough of these gold grapes to fit in the wreath. And I had the bows, and so I didn't have to buy anything. And when Christmas is over, I can put a gold bow in there or something else, but it's not so bright red that I can't leave it up all winter. So I'll probably take this down after the Christmas season. Well, at least the red bow, and I might just leave the gnome sweet gnome. But yeah, so when I originally made this wreath, I took a Dollar Tree form, the metal ones, and I had ordered this eucalyptus as actually a swag, and I just used that and put it around the form and made a eucalyptus wreath out of that. And that I had gotten from Amazon because I wanted to have something for around my mirror in the living room, and this was one that was left over, so I made a wreath out of it. So anyway, I think that turned out just fine, and I didn't have to spend any money on a new Christmas wreath, other than this little guy. He was $1.25. Everything else I had. So it's a substantial size wreath, and you can see it outside. So I also found some things in the garage from last year that I never put in the attic because the garage is a mess too. So let me show you how I decorated the front of my house and how it will look with the wreath. Okay, so I had made these little Christmas trees last year from a hanging basket, a wrought iron hanging basket that I used to hang up there. It had cocoa core in it. So the garland is from Dollar Tree, and I just kind of wrapped it around, put a bow on top. So I made them into little Christmas trees. The bows I had from last year. There's the wreath. And then I had these little gnomes that I put together. Big red bow with the bells, and the little heads there are also from Dollar Tree, and that's all from last year. So this is what my wreath looks like. So I think that looks very festive, and it didn't really cost me any money. So there we go. Well, bit by bit, I'm getting things done. So I didn't accomplish a whole lot today, but I did finish up the wreath. I've been wanting to do that, and that seems to be working. So what I'm going to do is just change up the picks as the seasons change, and I should have enough of everything already to do that. But if I find something really pretty, I might change it up. So I was happy that I had stuff already, and I didn't have to go out to the store and buy anything else. So it's still my plan next month to really start cutting back on the spending, because I still have quite a bit of stuff coming up that I have to spend money on, and lots of money. So yeah, I mean, this year has been like somebody opened the money faucet and out went the savings. So it's been crazy. So I'm praying that that comes to an end soon and doesn't continue, because, you know, you don't want to use up all your savings. You got to have a little something in your back in case something else happens. So I have never in my whole life experienced anything like I've experienced the last year and a half when it comes to spending money. So it was a lot. But anyway, sometimes you got to do it. You know, you can't let your house fall down around you either. And so hopefully I won't need to do a whole lot to the house once I get everything set up for another 20 years. So my daughter came over for a visit today. She didn't have the kids at home. They were all out doing things, and she said she was just going to take the day to relax. And I'm really glad that she did that, because she really puts a lot on her plate. So it makes me happy when she says she's not going to do anything. So she came over and had a cup of coffee with me, took Chloe outside for a little walk, not for long. Like I said, my poor little Chloe, she is not doing well, and I have the feeling that the cancer that the vet found is in more than one place, because the vet said, well, you know, I can do another $300 x-ray and, you know, see if it's spread. But the way she's acting and not responding to anything, nothing I give her makes her feel better. And she's hardly eating anything now. I offer her water. She's still drinking water. But I think I'm going to have to check into some doggy hospice type thing at home and start getting ready. So I really dread that day. But anyway, I just wanted to give you all a little update. I can't even really get the medication in her. She just spits everything out. So that's enough about that. I don't want to talk about real sad things. So anyway, tomorrow is Monday again. That's the start of a new week. And we're halfway through the month already. So not too many days. And I am looking forward to Christmas Eve. And having the family over. And yeah, it's always fun. I've been hosting Christmas Eve for a long time. My daughter did it a couple times. She hosts everything else. But since their house isn't quite ready yet, they're doing lots of work to it. They felt like they didn't want to add more to it. She wants to do it now, because that way, when the kids are home, they have all their stuff, and, you know, so it's just actually easier for her to host parties at her house, because then she can invite all her in-laws and her friends, which I am inviting her mother-in-law. She's a widow, so and her mom is elderly, just like my mom. So I did invite them, but I don't know if they're coming or not. So we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, it is easier for my daughter and her family if everybody goes to her house, because, like I said, then they don't have to drag all the gifts home and all that. You know, people just bring the gifts. So, yeah, I did a little tiny bit of cleaning up, but not that much. I cooked some chicken for the dogs. And boy, they're liking that homemade dog food. That's for sure. So, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. So that's all I have for you today, my friends. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself, be good to others. God bless you, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. It helps my channel grow. Don't forget to share, and thanks for watching.